Coming up on Let's Get to the Points.
Tonight we are doing a 3-card combo challenge. The rules are you can only pick 3 cards of any bank, and these are the only cards that you could have for the rest of your life.
I want a return for every dollar on my spending, and a majority of the money that we spend in our household is on food, whether it's dining out or grocery, and that's what we spend a lot of money on each month.
I originally had the Amex Gold, but with this refresh, I'm having second thoughts, and I'm going to do a last-minute change. It might come as a bit of a surprise, but I am going to go with a hotel card.
So this was a very difficult exercise. So I chose my 3 cards based on the transfer bonuses that I wanted. I wanted to maximize my category multipliers, but I also wanted to minimize my annual fees.
The other reason I like the card, which I hope to never use, is that helicopter in case I fall down off Mount Kilimanjaro, they come and pick me up for a helicopter, hopefully with a cute paramedic to come and pick me up. Good enough for me.
And now, let's get to the points. She loves traveling luxuriously for a fraction of the cost. It's Serena. He embraces every travel experience, and he proves adventure is found everywhere. It's Miguel. She teaches you and your family to travel on a budget while indulging in a little bit of occasional luxury. It's Nicole. And he loves using his points to fly some of the world's best airlines in first class. It's Mitch Shannon.
Welcome and thank you for joining us on Let's Get to the Points video and audio podcast, where we bring you the very best in tips and tricks in the world of miles, points, and travel. I'm Mitch Shannon, joined by my co-hosts who love traveling the world with their families using their credit card points and miles. First up, she's our points and miles travel guru who loves counter space in her business class suite seats. It's Serena.
Hi, everyone.
He's always got a keen eye out for the best deals and points and miles, and his motto, just book it. It's Miguel.
Yeah, what's up?
Her summer has been jam-packed with new adventures, and she's already got next summer already booked. It's Nicole.
Hi guys, how are you?
Please help us out. Click that subscribe button now to our YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever you watch or listen. Also, give us a like and leave us a comment below and tell us what you think about our show. Let's do it. Let's get to the points. All right, tonight we've got some breaking news to start out our show, and we've got our 3 reporters. We've got Sandy Beaches, Sunny Days, and Gale Forcewind.
What?
Live, local, and late breaking announcements.
And now live from the Let's Get to the Points newsroom, this is a live, local, late-breaking news update.
I'm going to let you all decide who you want to be. So we got an announcement, right?
Yes, we do.
It's Gale Forcewind. Gale Forcewind, tell us the latest.
Breaking news, we are meeting up again. Are you guys ready for this? This time we're coming to the West Coast.
The best coast!
That's right.
Yeah, I'm leaning West Coast is the best coast now because I'm currently in the West Coast. I'm in LA right now.
On December 7th, all 4 of us will be meeting up again, but this time in LA.
And most importantly, December 7th is a Saturday. It's not a Tuesday night. So we're hoping a lot of you can make it out to join us.
That's right, Sandy Beaches. I am currently on location here in LA right now on a reconnaissance mission, looking at potential venues that could be used for this meetup. And we're very excited that this is coming up here on December 7th. Back to you.
Sunny Days, I hear you're at the Hyatt Regency in Orange County, and is that a good potential for our meetup?
Yes, I think this could be a potential only if there's Disney activities involved. And I don't think we're going to get everybody on board for that. So I'm going to keep looking for more locations. Back to you.
Miss Wendy says no. What's her name again?
Gale Forcewind.
I am predicting a high gust of wind with any Disney activities. So Miguel, continue with your mission and search out those locations.
So it was a great feat for us to get Miss Gale Forcewinds all the way out here in LA from Miami. So this is a small chance for you to see all of us again on the West Coast.
And Mitch promises to buy me a first class ticket.
I'm sorry. We're losing our connection with Gail Forcewind. I cannot hear what can you guys hear Gail Forcewind? Put it on your calendar, December 7th. Save the date. We've got the RSVP link in the show notes as well. It's going to be a great event, and we're going to see everyone then. We're going to have more updates soon, but just go ahead and look at the RSVP list and get on there and come see us in Los Angeles. All right. Our show tonight, we've got another challenge, and this time it's brought to you by Miguel. Is that right? And I get excluded from one of these rules of this new challenge that we're going to do tonight, right?
Yes, tonight we are doing a 3-card combo challenge. The rules are you can only pick 3 cards of any bank, and these are the only cards that you could have for the rest of your life. So this is imaginary because I don't think we could survive with just 3 cards. But if you were to have a restriction to where you can only have 3 cards, which are the best 3 cards that you would choose? We set an annual fee limit of $1,500, and that's the rule that we're going to exclude Mitch from because we know he doesn't stick to rules. So Mitch doesn't have an annual fee limit on the 3 cards that he chooses, but the rest of us are going to try to stay under $1,500 in annual fees for the 3 cards.
We should note also that these cards are going to be focused on travel rewards cards. So we know there are lots of cashback cards out there, but today's show is going to be about travel rewards and for people who like to travel, like us. We are also not going to choose our cards based on the sign-up bonus offered on each card, but we're instead going to base our decisions on the ongoing benefits of each card because sign-up bonuses change all the time. And if you're interested in any of the cards that we mention on the show, you'll find links to them in our show notes. Now let's get to the points. Okay, who is going to go first?
Since I'm excluded from the rule, I think I should go first, but I'm going to stay within the rule. So when I first started researching this challenge that you brought us, Miguel, I thought, okay, this is going to be easy. You know, I'm just going to pick 1 card, each one from the major banks with the transfer partners. But that was just for a minute till I thought, well, there's actually more than 3 banks. And that's when it got a little bit more difficult for me when I had to put a little bit of thought into this. There I am, you know, which one could I live without? And, you know, that was really no help at all. So then I thought, well, which one had a lot of overlap with transfer partners? Maybe that's kind of how I went through this. So after I went through it all, I was able to get it down to these following 3 cards. These are the 3 cards that I would live for with the rest of my life if I had to and stay within the rules of this challenge. The first one would be the American Express Gold Card. And now here's why. I want to return for every dollar on my spending, and a majority of the money that we spend in our household, it's on food, whether it's dining out or grocery, and that's what we spend a lot of money on each month. So the 4 times the points for me on those purchases, it's a big driving factor in keeping that card forever.
Especially when you go to that $1 million supermarket.
Oh, I'm going to mention that. Now, just a quick note for everyone, the American Express Gold Card, it has had a couple of changes that just recently happened in case you missed this. They are going to raise the annual fee. It's going to go up $75 to $325 per year. They're also going to give you the option now for a limited time to get it in a white gold card. They're going to be adding a $7 monthly Dunkin' Donuts credit. They're also going to add a $50 semi-annual Resi credit, and you want to make sure that you go online and register for those as well. They are going to cap the restaurants where you currently earn 4 times the points unlimited to just $50,000 per year. They are going to be removing the Milk Bar, Shake Shack from the food credits, but they are going to be adding Five Guys, and that's that $10 monthly credit. Plus, you're still going to get the $10 monthly Uber credit as before. Okay, so the second card that I would want to keep forever is the Capital One Venture X. So once again, it's for the same selfish reasons. I want to keep my American Express Gold Card. It's because I love the 2 times the points on all the purchases and the multipliers. If I book via the Capital One travel portal as well, those are very nice. So it's interesting to me that it became so powerful to me in this 3-card combo because in fact, it doesn't seem that long ago that I couldn't have cared less about Capital One as a bank. But now to see it top place in my wallet, that's a big deal for me. All right, as we can see, I'm going to keep the American Express Gold card. I'm keeping a Capital One, and now I only get one more choice. So I got to decide between Citi and I got to decide between Chase. And it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be, but still I had to really think this part out because the final card that I'm going to keep forever is the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. I know I've dogged this card in previous episodes, but being able to transfer from Chase to Hyatt is currently very valuable to me. That's the only transfer partner of Chase that I actually really care about. The rest, I could take or leave them. I've been experimenting with the 3 times the points on online groceries and pickup. And my only problem is, it's hard in my life preparing my life in advance of how I'm going to order groceries via an app. But still, I like the 3 times the online groceries pickup. It's a good thing. Not my style, you know my style, Nicole. I like to go to Erewhon and pick up expensive groceries.
Exactly.
So, in this 3 card challenges that I would keep for the rest of my life, it was a little bit more difficult than I thought it would be, Miguel. So this was an actual interesting challenge that you brought to us.
Mitch, can you tell us your total annual fee cost?
All right, Serena. So when I add up all the 3 cards, $815, well below the budget that we were given by Miguel of $1,500.
Pretty good.
Not bad, right?
Not bad for someone who lives high in the hog.
That's right. All right, who's going to go next on their challenge? I want to see what 3 cards you're going to keep forever.
Forever is so long, but according to American Express, forever might be only 7 years. I think I can live with these for 7 years. And on the topic of American Express, believe it or not, my first card would be the American Express Platinum card. I like that card because of the lounge access. I'm sure that comes as no surprise to anyone. I am on this secret mission to visit every Centurion lounge that was ever opened. How long do you think that will take, Serena?
Oh, a year tops.
A year.
You're playing Centurion Lounge Bingo?
I'm playing Centurion Lounge Bingo. Yes. The other reason I like the Amex card, which I hope to never use, is that helicopter, helipad, in case I fall down off Mount Kilimanjaro, they come and pick me up. Reason number 2, I'm keeping the card. Because for $695 for a helicopter, hopefully with a cute paramedic to come and pick me up, good enough for me. The annual fee is pretty steep, but with the credits that come with the card, you're able to offset this annual fee. I utilized a $200 airline credit. I always use the Uber credit once a month. Nala is always wanting to order some kind of takeout. We definitely use the Clear benefit, and I have found pretty good uses for the Fine Hotels and Resorts credit. So I think keeping the Amex Platinum would be a win for us. My second card is very different from the Amex Platinum, would be the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I love that card because of the protection and the travel insurance. It also only has a $95 fee. The number one reason I'm keeping that card is because of its ability to transfer to Hyatt. I also have found pretty good use for that $50 hotel credit. Anytime we have a layover and we are flying out early in the morning, I managed to use that $50 credit to book a hotel near the airport. Now, the final card was my first card. It's almost like it's my forever card. And that would be the Capital One Venture X. Similar to Mitch, I would love to maximize the amount of points I get per dollar. And with this card, I get 2 points per dollar on everything spent. I also get a $300 travel portal credit, which is easy to use with Capital One. And they also give you 10,000 bonus points every year. It's almost as if they're paying you to keep the card. Between the points on the bonus and a $300 travel credit, you're netting a profit of about $5. That one is definitely a no-brainer. And if you tell me you don't need the Capital One card, then I think we should have a side discussion. Oh, and how could I forget the Capital One lounges?
That's right.
Yeah, so all these 3 cards have special lounge access. I think with the Chase Sapphire Preferred, I even get once a year access to the new Chase lounges. So I think I'm covered all around. I got a lounge, a helipad escape. I'm good to go. And Hyatt, I'm good to go. My annual fee comes up to a whopping $1,185. A little bit higher than you, Mitch, but I think I'm reaping the benefits.
Especially if she needs a medical evac. Mitch, you're screwed.
I know, right? $1,100 is cheaper than how much are those? Like $100,000 some dollars?
Exactly. You see?
Yeah.
The math is mathing.
That's right.
So my annual fee is a little bit higher than Mitch's, but Miguel, what do your annual fees look like?
Actually, my total annual fees are, stay tuned. No, but my annual fees are actually pretty close to what yours are, Nicole. But my first card and the card that I would choose if this was a one card challenge is the Capital One Venture X. I think this is one of the best cards that you can get, especially if you don't want to get a lot of cards because it does cover a lot of different ground. Let's start with the annual fee. It is steep at $395. But like you mentioned, Nicole, you do get a $300 travel credit per year that can help you offset that annual fee. All you have to do is book travel, whether that's flights, hotels, rental cars through the Capital One travel portal, and you'll get a statement credit for up to $300 every year. After the first year, you'll get 10,000 anniversary miles every year, which are worth at least $100. Like you said, this is like you're entirely offsetting that high annual fee. But what benefit does it come with? This is a card that I would get for lounge access because aside from the Capital One lounges, you would have access to the Priority Pass network. So that would cover me with the lounges. And as far as earning, this card earns 2 Capital One miles per dollar in no matter what category. So you wouldn't have to worry about whether this is dining, groceries, or travel. You're getting a flat 2 miles for every dollar that you spend, which is pretty good. And one of the better benefits of the Capital One Venture X card is that you can add 4 authorized users for free. And then they each have these benefits as well, right? So they can also access Priority Pass lounges and you're earning 2 miles per dollar for everything they spend. Of course, you probably have to pay for it if they're your kids or spouse. But this is a great deal to have up to 5 Priority Pass lounge memberships for the same annual fee. For my second card, I originally had the Amex Gold because like Mitch, I also spend a lot of money on dining and groceries. But with this refresh, I'm having second thoughts and I'm going to do a last minute change and I'm going to take out the Amex Gold and I'm going to go with the Citi Premier Strata card.
Ooh.
I actually really like American Express points, so this one kind of hurts, but I can't take all these changes and coupon books, promos that they want to do. I'm not with it. And I know the American Express Gold card gives you a 4x points per dollar for dining and groceries, but the Citi gives you 3. So I think it's pretty close. I think it's competitive. And aside from giving you 3x on dining and groceries, it also gives you 3x on flights and hotels. The American Express Gold card limits the 4x on supermarkets to US only. So if you're traveling abroad, you're not getting that 4x multiplier, or they might not even take Amex at all. So I'm going to go with Citi on this one. And, I think I'll be able to accumulate a lot more Citi points than Amex points because I'm also spending on other categories like hotels and flights with this card. Another benefit of the Citi Premier card is that if you book through their travel portal, you actually get $100 hotel credit per year, which can completely offset your annual fee as well. So that's another way to offset that annual fee. Now, the Citi Premier card also has some decent travel protections. It was just refreshed itself and they added more travel protections. So I don't think they're on the same level as a Sapphire Preferred card or Reserve card, but I think they're pretty good benefits. Now, for my last card, it might come as a bit of a surprise, but I am going to go with a hotel card, actually. And it's not Hyatt or Marriott. So my third card would actually be the Hilton Aspire card.
Wow.
That's a good choice.
So I've always thought the Hilton Aspire card is overpowered for what the annual fee is. It does have a high annual fee of $550, but it gives you a lot of credits that you can actually use. The Hilton Aspire card gives you $200 Hilton Resort credit every 6 months. We've previously mentioned on the show how you can be strategic with these resort credits, where you can pre-spend for a future stay using these hotel credits. It also gives you $200 per year in airline credits. So there alone, you already have $600 in credit that can completely offset this annual fee. The main reason why I chose this card is because it comes with their top tier status, which is diamond status for Hilton Resorts. And I don't want to worry about how to get status and stay so many nights. I'd be worry free. I'd always have the highest status with Hilton as a diamond member. And it also gives you a free night certificate every year you have the card, which you can use at pretty much practically every Hilton resort around the world. This card doesn't limit you like the Marriott Brilliant card where, the free night has to be a certain amount of points. This free night certificate practically covers every hotel around the world. There's a few exceptions, but it's pretty much any hotel. Now, by holding this card, you're also earning 34 Hilton points per dollar for your spend at Hilton hotels. I know we give Hilton a lot of because sometimes the room rates are pretty ridiculous, but you're earning 34 points per dollar at least if there is no promotions, because this card's giving you 14 Hilton points per dollar for the card, but you're also getting another 20 points per dollar for being a diamond member. So 34 points per dollar when you're spending at Hilton, I think it adds up pretty quick. So I would choose a Hilton card, and I guess I would just be a Hilton fan.
Sad day.
Miguel, I can't wait to see you at your next Hilton.
Oh, it's coming. I think it's just a matter of time. Right now, I'm at a Hyatt right now, but I think Hiltons are on the horizon.
You know, Miguel, that's actually a good choice with the multiplier that you get with that Hilton Aspire card. Because a couple of years ago when we went to the Waldorf in Maldives, they were having that promotion. So we stacked it with the promotion. And I forget how much we spent. We probably spent like $4,000 extra in food and all that other stuff.
And yacht transfers.
Yeah. And the yacht transfer.
Nicole's having a heart attack.
Yeah, I know. We need to resuscitate.
My braids
Nicole.
are like extra tight right now.
But we ended up getting, it was about 54 points per dollar after the bonus and the promotion and everything. And I was like, wow, that's like really powerful. And it was all just because of that Hilton Aspire card.
Yeah, I've seen that promotion a few times actually, where you end up earning, over 50 points per dollar when you spend at Hilton. So it seems like that trip for you was maybe 1 or 2 sign-up bonuses.
Miguel, what was your total for your annual fees?
If my math is correct, and you can check me on this, is 1040, like your tax forms.
The easy form?
Easy for.
So your annual fees came right under Nicole's.
Looks like I'm the one living high on the hog today.
Now we save the best for last.
That's right.
Just kidding. I'm not boastful. So this was a very difficult exercise. 3 cards that I have to keep for the rest of my life. So I chose my 3 cards based on the transfer bonuses that I wanted. I wanted to maximize my category multipliers, but I also wanted to minimize my annual fees. So here's what I came up with. And of course, I also want to be diversified. So card number 1, I need an Amex card because I want the ability to transfer to ANA, Delta, and Hilton. I'm choosing the Amex Gold here because I will get 4x on worldwide dining and 4x on US supermarkets. And I'm still choosing the Amex Gold even with the recent changes. So for card number 2, I need a Chase card to transfer to Hyatt. And this might be surprising, but I will choose the Chase Inc. Business Preferred because that gives you 3x on travel and the ability to transfer to Hyatt. I will also get 3x on my cell phone bill, and this card also has the benefit of cell phone protection. And then my third choice, this was tough for me. I wanted a Capital One card because I wanted to transfer to Turkish and Wyndham. I also wanted a Citi card so I could transfer to EVA. I also thought about the Hilton Aspire card because I want Hilton Diamond status, but I decided to choose the Capital One Venture X for 2x everything and lounge access for my entire family. I also really like the $300 travel credit and the 10K bonus miles each anniversary. This is also the card I will use for travel insurance, including car rental insurance and trip cancellation and interruption protection. So for my total annual fees, it comes in at $815, which is the same as you, Mitch.
Wow, right there, right in the
there.
pockets.
Yes. So the sad thing about my 3-card combo is I will not have Alaska miles, which means I cannot fly Starlux anymore unless they join an alliance sometime in the future. But for now, and for this exercise, I have to live with that. But thank God this is fake. In real life, we can open 20 cards if we want to.
26 to be exact, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's 28 now. There's been a couple here and there.
I think this exercise is great for people who don't want 25 plus cards and want to keep their annual fees low. So we're presenting our options to you so that you can decide what 3 cards might be best for your credit card portfolio.
Yeah, this exercise, Serena, was actually interesting for me to listen to the 3 of you talk about what you would choose, because when I think about it, like the reasons that I picked the cards that I did was because it was all about the multipliers, right? Because I want to try to earn as much as I can for every dollar I spend. But, listening to Nicole talk, it's about the lounge access and being able to, get into wherever she wants to go with her platinum card and to get into lounges. So it's pretty fascinating that we all had different reasons for the cards that we chose.
Yeah. And And, everybody's preferences will be different. And so your 3 cards could be completely different from ours.
Don't forget about my helicopter evac.
With a cute rescuer, right?
Exactly.
What's really cool about that feature is you don't even have to use the card on that piece of travel that you booked, right? Just by holding it, you get that medical evac, which I think is a great benefit.
I need to save that number on my phone.
You never know.
So if I ever need it, I'm not going to be Googling this phone number, coming down from Mount Kilimanjaro.
Write it on the back of your card with a Sharpie.
So now that we've done this challenge, I got a question for you guys, and we've heard everyone's cards of what you would choose. Do you want to change any of the cards that you picked?
Well, I kind of changed mine mid-game, but I will say that I actually didn't think about business cards. So I like that Serena picked the Chase Ink Preferred, because that still gives you the ability to transfer points, but it gives you a higher multiplier for the travel spend. So I think that was a very good choice. I like that, Serena.
Best for last.
West Coast is the best coast.
A little louder.
I only
Boastful.
roll with the best. What's also very interesting is the common denominator in all our 3 card combos, right? It's the Capital One Venture X. We each find this card so powerful that we want to keep it forever. So if you don't have it, you might want to think about it.
It's time.
Okay, Miguel, I like this little challenge that you brought up. This 3-card combo really made me think. Are we going to have any more of these challenges coming up?
I think definitely.
Nicole says no.
So we're giving you the challenge. If you could only pick 3 cards forever, which 3 cards would it be? Let us know in the comments your top 3 cards and why you would pick these cards to stay with forever.
Or let us know whose 3-card combo you like the best. You can also do that as well.
Remember, West Coast is not the best coast.
Yes, it is.
Oh, West Coast is the best coast. All right, up next is our weekly recap. Okay, it's now time for our weekly recap. This is where we share with you what we've been booking, along with any lessons or tips that we might have learned along the way. And Miguel, you had an interesting trip to Southern California that you used Alaska miles for instead of paying cash, but you bought them, right?
That's right, Mitch. I am currently here in Southern California. I'm at the Hyatt Regency Orange County. As I was booking this, I actually used a new tool that is available, and it made me think about the Alaska miles, which I hadn't previously considered. It's called PointsPath. It's a pretty new tool. It's a little limited in how many airlines it's compatible with, but it's actually a Chrome extension. So you would have to download a Chrome extension to your browser for this to work. How this works is that when you're searching for flights on Google Flights, it will actually look up availability and whether you can book it with Alaska, American, Delta, or United Miles. So I think those are the current airlines that it works with. But if you can book that same flight that you can compare directly on Google Flights, it'll compare the cash versus the points cost if it's available with points or miles, and it'll tell you which one is the better deal. As I was looking for these flights were about $400 per person each way in economy, which is, pretty expensive, I think. So this PointsPath tool showed me that you could book the exact same flight with 4,500 points. I initially thought it was talking about American Airlines miles. So then I looked through American Airlines and it wasn't 4,500 miles. So I went back and checked and it was actually talking about Alaska miles. Now, Alaska miles, I used them all up when I flew Starlux last year. So I really don't look at that program anymore because I'm all out of miles. But there was actually a promotion to buy miles. So I checked to see how much it would cost to buy the miles for this flight. And I saved a lot of money. The cash cost of these flights were $394. But PointsPath showed me that I could book them for 4,500 miles plus $18 in fees. Since I needed 2 tickets, I would need a total of 9,000 miles to book one way from El Paso to LA. Alaska Airlines was running a promotion to give you additional bonus miles, and the percentage was based off of how many miles you bought. I bought 7,000 miles and got a 40% bonus of 2,800 miles, which gave me a total of 9,800 miles, which was enough to book the 2 one-ways. The total cost for these miles was $207. I was charged an additional $36 in fees, so in total, I paid $243 for 2 people to fly one way to LA, as opposed to $788. So I ended up paying 30% of the cash cost by buying these Alaska miles. There isn't always a promotion to buy miles, but it's always worth looking into it because you could save a lot of money by doing that.
Yeah, I think people don't think to buy miles first off the top of their head. They're like, either I have the miles or I don't have the miles. So it's either miles or cash. But this is always a great option.
Yeah, this is the same thing I did when I bought Choice Points when I went to Norway Norway last month, but because by buying those choice points when there was a promotion and redeeming those points for a stay was cheaper than paying cash for the stay. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of buying points when there's a good promotion and you have a good plan on how to redeem those points. This is another example of the British Airways Obvious Boost that we talked about before in the show. That's another way of you buying points for a redemption where you still end up saving money as opposed to paying full price.
Miguel, you started this series where you talked about what you unbook, and this week I have an episode of unbooking. As you guys know, I booked a ticket for all 5 of us, that's 4 of us plus Nana, to go to Turkey, and she decided she wasn't going to go. It took almost a week to be able to cancel that ticket and get a full refund. I started on Sunday calling Turkish Airlines to cancel the ticket, and the agent on the phone was like, "I'm having problems with your ticket, ma'am. I'm going to call you back." And at first I was like, people from the call center can call you back? I was like, "Ma'am, what number do you have for me?" She repeated my number, but I never got a call back.
I didn't think.
Of course.
That's so funny. Yeah.
So I called back and the gentleman was able to separate the ticket from our 4 tickets, but he told me he couldn't issue a refund. I need to fill out another form. This went on for about 3 days until I finally found a gentleman who was able to cancel the ticket, but not issue me a refund. So another 2 days, and the gentleman told me I needed to go to the airport to get this done. And I'm like, this defeats the whole purpose. And Turkish doesn't fly out of Miami very often, so I would have to go when there was a flight scheduled. I gave it another day, and lo and behold, I checked my Turkish accounts and the miles was there. 2 more days in. Now I'm waiting for the refund of the taxes and fees. I checked yesterday and they are finally there. But there is one final step. In order to refund me my taxes and fees, I have to pay a $70 fee, and they have charged me that fee twice. So now I need to put in another feedback form to get one of my $70 back. Lesson is, if you're gonna cancel a ticket, do not wait till last minute. And if you're canceling with Turkish, give it at least 2 weeks. Because if I had waited till the day before, I probably would not have gotten the miles back or the money for the taxes and fees. You win some you learn a lot. So don't wait till last minute with Turkish. Cancel as soon as you know you're not going to take the flight. Serena, what did you book this week?
Okay, it's summertime and it's the best time to book your trips for next summer. And thank goodness for Seats.aero alerts because it guided me in the right direction. I got an alert from Seats.aero to book business class nonstop from San Francisco to Europe for next summer. And the best part is, there were 9 seats available. So I guess my parents are going to come with us. So I booked my family of 6 from San Francisco to Barcelona for next June, right after school gets out. And this is a flight on United, but I used Air Canada Aeroplan miles to book. I transferred my American Express points to Air Canada and booked it on their website. Now with Air Canada, they have 2 different award classes. They have what they call the lowest reward for 75,000 miles, and they also have a flexible reward for 90,000 miles. The flexible reward is refundable with no charge or cancellation fee. So I decided to book the flexible reward because my plan is either to add on another leg or a stopover to this ticket once more award availability opens up so that we can move to another part of Europe. I can do that over the phone with Air Canada Aeroplan when I'm ready. And when I'm ready to call Aeroplan to adjust my booking, what I'm going to try to do is also reprice my itinerary. So instead of the 90,000 miles that I originally booked, I'm going to try to change it back to the 75K miles for the lowest reward after I finalize what exactly I want to do with this trip. And if I end up adding a stopover, Aeroplan only charges an additional 5,000 miles to add on another leg, including a stopover in a city. But for now, my nonstop flight from San Francisco to Barcelona is set. Barcelona is not my final destination. We plan to maybe head over to Greece or Italy. This is an example where Barcelona is not my final destination, but it's a means of getting to the general area of where I want to go. And when Seats.aero sent me an alert that 6 seats were available nonstop in business class from San Francisco to Europe, I booked it. And in true Serena fashion, I don't have a ride home. But there's still a lot of time.
Yet.
I always find that it's easier to find a flight from the US to Europe than to find one back.
We might have to split up.
I like how Seats.aero saved you, Serena, because I think they're going to help us with our next question and Ask Us.
Yeah, and if you don't have Seats.aero Pro, you can subscribe and use our code Let's Get 20 for 20% off the annual plan.
Hey, Nicole, Serena, Mitch, and Miguel. I love your show. Please keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome and helpful for so many people. I have a question for you. I am trying to get to Shanghai from Seattle in November, and I would love to fly business class using points. I've got Chase points, Amex points, and Alaska Airlines miles. I think it would be good to spend less than 100,000 miles one way. And I'm wondering, do you think this is possible? And if so, how would you go about it? Thanks so much for the advice and looking forward to seeing more. Thanks.
All right. Thank you for the wonderful compliment, Adam. We really do love what we are doing here with our podcast. And we just love it when people like you send us video questions. So here's what we've got for you on your question. I'll go first. Is it possible? Yes, but it's going to be a bit difficult to find. But that's okay because you can use our partner Seats.aero. And here's what I did. So I ran a search and I didn't see anything remotely available for your dates in November. However, there are a couple of options that I want to tell you about so you can keep your eye out for them. Since you have Chase and American Express points, both are a transfer partner of Flying Blue, which is Air France and KLM's loyalty program. And doing a little digging, I found Seattle to Taipei, then on to Shanghai on China Airlines for 96,000 Flying Blue points one way. Not life-changing, but if you time it right, maybe you might get a transfer bonus. This could really work in your favor, so keep an eye out for that one. Another option, which isn't below your goal of 100,000, but you can fly Singapore Airlines and they just started service from Seattle. So you can now go from Seattle to Singapore, then on to Shanghai. And if you can find award space via their award program, you're going to pay around 114,000 for a saver class award. Or if you find the advantage space, you can book it for 149,000 points one way. Now, I know that's a lot, but something to think about is you can book a one-way advantage award and you get a free stopover in Singapore, which would, hey, be a great little quick side trip on your way there. Another option, if you're booking Singapore, see if you can find them via Air Canada's Aeroplan program. And if you do find the space via Singapore or another Star Alliance carrier like ANA, you can book that for just 87,500 points each way. And that's the great thing about Chase and Amex. They both transfer to Aeroplan and throw in an extra 5,000 points and you get a free stopover in your connecting city. Now, something else that I want you to consider is booking a positioning flight from Seattle. So just using a random example, by using Seats.aero, I was able to find, are you ready for this? Using your Alaska miles, going from Dallas, Helsinki, Shanghai on Finnair, and it's just 85,000 points one way in business. Now, I'm sure most people are going to think I'm crazy for even suggesting taking the very long way there via Europe, but hey, I've done crazier, longer ways before in my life, just as long as it's not coach. Oh, and it's great too because we just flew Finnair and they've got the best blueberry juice that I've ever had on a plane.
I was going to mention
Self-service
Ever.
down.
All right, Adam, one last note for you. Delta did start nonstop service from Seattle to Shanghai, which would be ideal for you. However, good luck finding that at a decent award price because it's just not going to happen with your Delta. What do they call them now? Rupees? Is that it?
Sky pesos.
Sky pesos. That's it. Right.
Hi, Adam. I want to go to Shanghai too. Asia has been so popular and it has been increasingly difficult to find award space in business class from the US to Asia. Mitch presented some great options and I'm going to suggest Starlux. Starlux is launching their Seattle to Taipei route, and that's a great option if you can find availability. You can book this with 75,000 Alaska miles one way in business class, and typically we're only seeing them release about 1 seat per day for Starlux business class to Asia. But if you check closer in, about 1 to 2 weeks before departure, we're seeing more seats open up, sometimes 4 or 5. So if you booked something as a backup, but you want to change it to Starlux, you might want to keep an eye on Starlux availability as you get closer to your departure date. My advice is to set alerts for your dates, and we have tutorials and previous episodes about how to set alerts on Seats.aero. Let us know in the comments if you want to know which episodes those are.
Hi, Adam. It's great that you have a lot of options with American Express and Chase, but I think the true winner here is Alaska Miles. Starlux is a very good option, and flying from Seattle would be ideal for you. But you can also book Japan Airlines with a layover in Japan, or you can book Cathay Pacific, or you could even book Korean Air. You could actually fly Korean Air out of Vancouver, which isn't too far for a positioning flight for you, and fly Vancouver to Seoul on Korean Air, and that's only about 75,000 Alaska miles. I don't know if you could find a connecting flight all the way there on the same itinerary, or you might have to have a separate flight, but it's a much shorter flight and you can do the long haul in business class. So I think that's another good option to look into. Air Canada also flies from Vancouver straight to Shanghai. So I would just search from Vancouver as well if you're willing to reposition from there. Good luck on your search. I hope you find something good, and I know you will. And thank you for sending in your question.
All right, thank you, Adam, for your question. We want you on our show as well. All you got to do, if you got a question for us, just visit our website, letsgettothepoints.com. Click on subscribe, and there you can send us your video question. That's it for now. I want to thank all of our hosts. It's Serena.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Miguel.
Later.
And we'll see you next week, Nicole.
See you guys next week.
Still liking those headphones. And I'm Mitch Shannon. Make sure you join our email newsletter. Just snap the QR code right now that's on your screen for the latest in everything going on in the points and miles world. And we'll see all of you here next Friday. Thanks for watching and listening.
Let's get to the points.com.